This weekend, the Chorus Austin Chamber Ensemble is presenting As We Pass Through, reflecting on the shared experiences, I like this, of being human. Joining us now is conductor and artistic director Ryan Heller and soprano chorus member Alyssa Kim. We're happy to have them back in the studio. It's only been about a month, so it's lovely to see you both again. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. So Alyssa, let's talk one more time about how the chamber ensemble is different than Chorus Austin as a whole. Basically, there's a bigger group and then there's a more concentrated group.
Yeah, our symphonic chorus is somewhere, around 200 voices at this point,
Yep.
whereas our chamber for each concert is about 30. So it's a much smaller group of folks, and also the repertoire is very different. So in symphonic, we're often accompanied. For this concert, we are fully a cappella. So,
Wow.
Last year we had a concert that had a quartet, local string quartet with us, but this particular one is a cappella. So that's one of the largest differences, I think, in the choir.
And not only that, but it's also a step above. In order to get
Yes.
to that 30-ish person group, you really have to know your stuff. And so I want to make sure I brag on you because you actually have a degree in music.
Yes, my undergrad degree was in music. But yeah, the audition process happens every single season for our chamber choir, and there really is just so much precise intention into who sings exactly what show. So Ryan has, I want to hear your two voices, you stand up and sing together. I wanted to hear you, the group of three, sing together. So it is very specific, and Ryan has a vision in his head.
Oh yeah, well, and there's a little bragging on you over
Well,
there,
thank
Ryan.
you.
Yeah, like as the creative artistic director here, you can hear what you want to hear and put the pieces together, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what folks can expect from As We Pass Through. I was really surprised by some of the descriptors I got from you.
Yeah, right. It's a really cool concert. Its origination was last year. We were reflecting on like time and the seasons and times of day and how we interact with that. And then as we began putting the program together, it was, this isn't feeling quite as emotional and a deep connection like we want. So we started really thinking about what does a human's experience with each other in this world look like, A lot of familiar composers were coming to me, a lot of contemporary living composers, and then listening to some various pop music, Dolly Parton song we were talking about, right? Light of a Clear Blue Morning, which is kind of a hopeful, wonderful tune that the sopranos and altos are going to sing. There's a Coldplay arrangement of a song called Human Heart.
All right.
That they collaborated with this genius named Jacob Collier, an English composer and kind of savant in his own right, and he created this great kind of choral framework for it. There's reflections on each other's journeys. There's a piece for the tenors and basses where they sing in 10 different languages.
Whoa.
And the text is really simple about my journey is your journey. Just kind of a shared walking this path together, kind of a thing. And then at the very end, you'll hear This Little Light of Mine, that familiar spiritual, but there's two melodies.
It makes me have goosebumps when I hear that
That's
sound
what we
really
want,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something that's going to tap into everyone's kind of shared experience along the way. There'll even be a time for the audience to sing with us in there. So it's going to be a great, great afternoon together.
Okay, you don't want to hear me singing, but I'll mouth it along with the audience, okay? And I do want to ask, Ryan, because this is such a brainchild of yours, how you pick these works, how you picked Dolly Parton, Coldplay, living composers, all these different little pieces to come together and to make sure that it feels cohesive.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I start with a great big brainstorm of repertoires. So if you were to come into my office or my home, let's get real, there's stacks of music everywhere, right? And then we start to kind of hone in on what it is that we want to do in this concert sequence, and then I start whittling things down. So for example, for As We Pass Through, I probably started with like 50, 60 pieces of music that could have gone in.
Wow.
And then I start looking at where the themes and trends go, what kind of journey do we want to take the audience on. This concert, for example, doesn't have an intermission. So we're just going to it's like 60 minutes worth of music, and then there's various poems that we've thrown in along the way too for connective tissue. So the whole afternoon, like an hour and 10 minutes in terms of the journey together. But that's kind of, where I start and then where we end up. How do we want to do this shared communal experience, together with our audience and the singers?
You have such a great way of communicating to us you know, those of us who maybe didn't get degree in music, about how we can experience this, because if you make it so much more accessible, and thank you for that.
Yeah,
because,
of course.
there are so many of us that feel kind of left out because we don't know like a Mixolydian scale or something like that.
Mixolydian!
I learned once.
If you know that, you get free tickets. Text us.
And Ryan is so
Alyssa.
wonderful at that. Ryan
I
is,
was gonna say.
yeah, he is really great. Speaking of connective tissue, I feel like Ryan is kind of what really brings us together. He always says that he is the prism through which the music gets translated. So the
Wow.
choir funnels our energy and our emotive capacity and our intuitions with the music through him, and then it gets translated out to the audience. And I love that as a metaphor because he really is so wonderful at picking the music that will be so resonant and then explaining that and making it, like you said, accessible to a wider audience, which is just one of the most brilliant things I think about Chorus Austin, is that it is so accessible.
Oh, it feels pretty good to hear that, right?
That's really nice, yeah.
I want to make sure I ask Alyssa, when are people able to see this performance, and what's the ticket setup?
Yeah, so that is going to be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. You can get tickets at chorusaustin.org. We do have a pay what you're able, so we want to make it as accessible as possible. If that is a barrier for you, come see us. We want you to be at our show. We want everyone to be able to experience this wonderful music, this wonderful set that we've put together. And that's going to be at First English Lutheran Church.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And then I know you can't give away everything, Ryan, but if you could just give me a little tease of anything else coming up this season.
Oh, absolutely. So once we get past this weekend, of course, all of our attention turns to the holidays. Messiah is coming up, which we do with the Austin Symphony. And then we do the Sing-Along Messiah, another big community event where hundreds and hundreds of people come and join us as we raise our voices together, right, in Handel's great masterpiece. And then in the new year, we're going to be doing our New Year's Gala, second Saturday in January, our new music concert in the early spring, and then this season we're premiering a treble voice choir, which will be over Mother's Day weekend, that Saturday before Mother's Day. All new music written for the treble voices.
Wow.
It's going to be really great.
Oh, it's so cool how everything's split into groups. We use two here, we use two
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
that sort of thing. Really, really neat, and I think it's going to be an awesome performance. Y'all break a leg.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. To get tickets and more info on the Chorus Austin Chamber Ensemble's performances this weekend, visit chorusaustin.org or follow them on social media at chorus.austin.